I am also gravely concerned about what we've seen so far. I see as targeting of federal employees. We know that a good disproportionate share live in Maryland. About 135 to 40,000 of them live in Maryland. And it should be really clear that these are dedicated, hardworking civil servants, the people who we rely on to ensure that we have clean drinking water and that we are protecting the American people. And so it will be our objective to make sure that they are never forgotten, and that we are working every day to ensure that they are not silenced, that they are allowed to continue to work as experienced professionals, and that we are speaking up to make sure that they are in conditions that are fair to them and that they are not targeted. So that's really important to me. I'm sure it will likewise be important to the delegation, but most especially it is the obligation as well as the commitment of all of us to ensure the lives and livelihoods of Marylanders, and we're going to work together as a team to make sure that that happens.
As the daughter of civil servants, I'm particularly aggrieved at the politicizing of our federal workforce, not just because we have 142,000 of them in Maryland, but because of the work they do is essential to keeping our communities safe and thriving. I represent, for instance, the Chesapeake Bay Program Office. I'm gravely concerned that the executive order might lead to a silencing of our scientists at a moment in time where we're seeing the impacts of a changing climate, sea level rise, things that are actually threatening the lives and livelihoods of our constituents. If our scientists are silenced, that means our communities are less safe. We need to make sure that our federal employees can continue to show up, continue to do their work, continue to be free from the fear of being politicized in this environment, and continue showing up for the American people. And that's a priority for this delegation.
I echo all the comments made about the need that we really do need to look at our federal workers and appreciate them. I did work within an agency. I was the #2 at an agency overlooking about 1,000 people. And all I found is that they were really overworked, under-resourced, deep subject matter expertise, and I think valuing their work and what they do for our country and globally is so important.
We're reaching out to federal employees, and we'll be doing our very best to make sure that we preserve the integrity of the federal civil service. And I do want to make one other comment on this point, because yes, it's true, of course, that Maryland represents lots of federal employees, but the interest in protecting the integrity of the civil service really goes to every American, no matter where they live in the country. Because as was mentioned by Congressman Mfume, you've got the Social Security Administration, right? You've got lots of federal agencies. You've got the FDA. These are people who are looking at food safety. You don't want those positions to be politicized. And so this is why I think it's important not just to Marylanders or people who live in this region, but to every American that we protect the integrity of the federal civil service.
I've got legislation that is bipartisan before the Congress in this early part of the session that would address the Schedule F situation particularly by taking the arbitrary nature out of it, which has been put back in, and by making sure that changes to Federal F do so or take place with the advice and the consent of the Congress. So there is another layer to go through so that people are protected. And as I said before, it's a bipartisan bill. It was in last Congress. It didn't make it out, but it is back in again. And we hope now, with this renewed interest, that we'll be able to pass that.
There is a misperception. 80% of the federal employees live throughout the country and are represented by members on both sides of the aisle. So to think that this is just a Washington-centric issue is incorrect. I think the American people are proud of the civil service. Whatever they think of government, they think of it, but they understand that the civil service that was created a long time ago to prevent politicizing the civil service is a good thing for them and for America.